Today we will be speaking to Jedidah Amoako-Ackah, the first track cyclist from Ghana to compete at the Commonwealth Games in Scotland. The Games will be held in Glasgow from July 23rd to August 3rd, 2014. In this interview, Jedidah talks about his journey to the Commonwealth Games and what he hopes to achieve there for himself and for his country, Ghana. Welcome to the African Dream, Jedidah.
Thank you very much.
How's the weather out there in Scotland, if you don't mind my asking?
Cold as always.
Cold as always, huh? What takes an African like you from Ghana into the Scottish cold?
My parents are traveling from Botswana, and we've been traveling for quite a while. So, we went from Ghana to Botswana, where they had their jobs and their careers, and then eventually, in 2001, we moved to England, and then finally settled in the coldest part of the UK for some reason.
Nice. Well, sure you took some of the sunshine with you to Scotland. So anyway, tell us, you are the first track cyclist from Ghana. How does that make you feel as an individual?
It's both a privilege and also quite a burden, because you want to put in your best performance, you want to show Ghana in a good light, you want to create something that interests Ghanaians and also promotes Ghana to the world. So yes, it's both an honor and quite a burden.
Obviously, you're going to be the first person to represent Ghana in that discipline in Glasgow, Scotland. Now, tell me, how have you been preparing for this event?
I've been working with a coach, and we have been preparing since September, very seriously, doing different various things such as sprint training on the road, and also strength and conditioning sessions at the gym.
I know it's right under your nose. You have home advantage if there's anything to refer to as far as cycling is concerned as a home advantage. Yeah. But being in Scotland and preparing for the Commonwealth Games as a track cyclist, what advantages do you see in it for you?
Yeah, the advantages are obviously the infrastructure and the facilities available. The Chris Hoy Velodrome, named after the six-time sprint cyclist, Sir Chris Hoy, was built just recently. So the availabilities of the facilities and the coaching and the development program and the investment that the Glasgow City Council puts into track cycling enables me from another country to enjoy, the fruits of their labor, if you like.
You mentioned the velodrome where you've been practicing as a competitor at the Glasgow Games. Now, you as a Ghanaian and as an African, could you name some of the track cyclists that inspire you?
I'll definitely have to say Gregory Bauge of France, who has actually been very, very phenomenal form in the last Olympics. Unfortunately, he got beat by Jason Kenny of Britain. But I've been very inspired by him, and Francisco Pervis again of France, and definitely Sir Chris Hoy, whom the velodrome is named after.
Interesting. Now, Jedidah, tell us, do you see yourself as an underdog in this competition, or would you call yourself like a newbie, a first-timer? How would you identify yourself in the eyes of your opponents?
I would believe it's a mixture of both. I believe that whenever a nation decides to take a step into a new sport, there needs to be room for development, and sometimes that means mistakes. There needs to be room for growth. So I believe it's a mixture of both. So I am a newcomer to the international scene and also an underdog in terms of my time in the sports.
What is biking or cycling to you personally?
I would definitely have to agree with Einstein when he said life is like riding a bicycle. In order to keep your balance, you must keep moving. So cycling to me is a metaphor of life itself. We have our ups and our downs, and at the end of the day, everybody's trying to work hard to help their families and spend time with their loved ones. So I think it's quite a unique sport to be involved in.
Before we leave you, Jedidiah, tell us, when you look at cycling in Ghana or in Africa in general, what are some of the things that need to be done to improve the sport, to increase interest in this sport, since it very much seems to be a non-traditional sport in comparison to soccer, football, boxing and other forms of athletics?
Yeah, I think in terms of the development of cycling as a whole on the continent of Africa, I think we have to look at the examples that have already been given from Australia to Great Britain, where they place infrastructure and invest, funds into development programs, into the different events of cycling. So I think we can follow that, speaking about Ghana, and we can follow that kind of model and not be afraid to inquire of other nations who have preceded us in the development of that sport. And I think we should be more than willing to ask for help if we feel we want to go into a certain direction.
July 23rd to the 3rd of August 2014, you will be one of those newcomers who would be competing for laurels and medals. Now, Jedidiah, we wish you all the best in Glasgow, but tell us, how do you want to be remembered when Glasgow 2014 is over?
I want to be remembered by the flag of Ghana, the fact that it's not about a man, it's about a nation, and I hope to promote Ghana and its progressive cycling culture and raise interest from both the UCI and the Cycling Federation of Ghana to invest more in not just track cycling, but look at a holistic view of cycling and see where we can go. And one of the initiatives I'll be setting up in Ghana is called Give the Bike Foundation, which aims to promote cycling by providing children with no means of transport to school bicycles. So I think there's not only a financial aspect of investing in infrastructure, but also charitable means, and that's how I want to be remembered.
Thank you, and we wish you all the best at Glasgow. Now, folks, you've been listening to Oral Ofori of the African Dream speak to Jedidah Amoako-Ackah, Ghana's first track cyclist to be competing at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, Scotland.